Today is all about your booking process and how you can make it the best it can be. This is your direct booking channel. It's your most lucrative channel. It's effectively your treasure channel. And those of you who know us know that we spend a lot of our time, deliberating or working out how to improve direct bookings. And the technology you use and the time you invest in that direct channel is critical to the success of your business. And we understand that. So we're really always trying to make sure that any time you invest is worthwhile. Today's an interactive session, so you'll get a chance to use a booking engine on your mobile. So have your mobiles ready later to scan the QR code. We will also be showing the mobile up on the screen ourselves. So you can, we'll just be explaining it. So you can, if you can't do the QR code thing, you can just follow that because you'll be able to see exactly what it looks like on a mobile. So we'll be flicking between screens. So hopefully everything will go very smoothly. But first, really a simple question, which is why is it so important to have a booking process that is, that works really well? It's fair to say that both Craig and I are often shocked and disappointed, sometimes even saddened by the attention given to booking engines when we look around and see what's on offer. Considering their fundamental role in the business, you need to make sure that your technology partner is making every effort to win this game. And there's some examples we'll show later which show that's not really the case. On your side, you've invested a lot of money and time to get potential guests to your website and then to your booking process. And you've done that by providing a great experience for guests. You've invested in property, done it up, looked after your guests, work hard to get those 5-star reviews. And, the chances are that you could lose all of that at the last step if you don't get the conversion. The hard fact is your guests don't owe you anything when deciding where to book. They select their selection is based on the most cost-effective, convenient, and secure path for them. And at Free2Book, we care about those direct bookings. We care about those conversion rates. And we've been around a long time. Lot of skin in the game. We've been working with booking processes now for about 28 years. But it's interesting that in terms of what guests want, well, nothing much has really changed. They're still looking for a simple, secure, and slick process to make a booking. How easy can you make it and how secure can you make it? Back in 2005, we built our first online booking process. And since then, we've built quite a few others. And they've processed millions of bookings. For us, crafting that booking process is something we obsess over. It's really hard work. It takes thousands of hours, but we know the value it creates because often just a very small increase in your conversion rate can make a big difference to your bottom line. So, with all that in our mind, the sort of question is, why do you see, fails? Why do you see things that don't work that well, where pages take a long time to load? And when that happens, you'll get drop-offs. Well, there's complexity in parts of the process, and that causes confusion with the guests. And if guests are confused or perplexed, they'll abandon the booking process, and sometimes they will book a different property, or they might just go to an OTA to make the booking because the process there is something that they understand. So poor design does cost a lot, and taking care over that booking process because it's effectively your sales and growth engine. So let's just have a look at a couple of examples where we're where it doesn't work very well. So these are real examples of date selection calendars. So they're live out there and some people have got them on their website. And there's an example here. And, first of all, you've got a legend there with 5 different things. You shouldn't really need a legend on a calendar. Calendar should be quite instinctive. You've also got one, part of that legend shows that you've got rooms available. And then it also says you've got few rooms available. And again, that's a kind of a question. What does that matter to the guest? What is few? So it doesn't really help. And there's really an interesting one there. It says there that you've got unknown dates. So the booking engine actually doesn't know whether you're available or not. And that's truly bizarre. Why would you even allow a field like that in a calendar selection? It's weird. That's out there. There's a booking engine that does that. Here's another example where they've got a legend, lots of colors, but they've chosen to use colors which are quite confusing. So red there is actually go instead of stop, which again is unusual. They've also got login there, and how many people will be wanting to log into your booking process. And they've also got gray as being available. When gray usually as a color means you're grayed out, you're not available. These are sort of the languages and the user experience that's important. So it's surprising to see, what businesses will put up with, or how much attention, how little attention that they'll give to their actual booking process. So for us, there's always improvements that can be made. So let's have a little look at something that we think does work quite well. It's our booking process. It's called Bloom. And I'm probably going to hand over now to Craig to explain and demonstrate some of the things.
So firstly, there's a little QR code there for anybody if they do have their mobile phone. You could scan that and you could take part and go ahead and do a booking, because this is booking on a test site. So you can actually go all the way through the booking, even through the payment process if you like. But the first thing there that's important is that we've built Bloom on a mobile first principle, and that's really because the stats are showing us that mobile versus desktop is about 65% mobile and 35% desktop, and this is likely to keep growing. I mean, those are our own stats, but they're also, if you search industry wide, it's pretty much the same. So really, we made the search and the speed very fast, and we made it very simple and easy to use. So if Ian's just going to click on a few buttons to try and show you the process, and I'll just go through it on his phone. It'll just be a moment. Okay. Right, so you see there, that's the Deco House Hotel, which is one of our demo sites. So the first thing probably the guest's going to do is going to look to select their stay dates. So here, this is our calendar. You could select your first date and then your second date, and that would be your date selected. You might choose, there you can see I've chosen a Friday, which then it says there's a 2-night minimum stay. So it won't let me select. I can't select the 21st, so I have to select the 22nd. It also shows me a 2-night minimum stay on the Saturday. If I scroll up a little bit, I think I've put some, let me just have a look. I put a 2-night stay on that. So it's 2-night minimum stay. So I just thought I'd put some others, but the other things that you can do is you can put no check-ins, no checkouts, all of that sort of thing, and a little message comes out. So essentially, you can do everything that was on the legend there with a little pop-up to let guests know. So I'm going to select those dates. Then I just press select and press search. That comes up with the availability for those dates. Starting with a small double room at the top, I can flick through the images to get a good idea of what the room is. I can go down a little bit. I can see, again, the room's just sort of loading there. There's a description, the facilities of the room. You can also see underneath there that it's on a room-only basis. So I can also select full breakfast if I want breakfast. I just have to tick that. The cancellation deadline is listed there, so it's quite easy to see that it's free cancellation to 1 day before. Essentially, then I just press select, press book at the bottom, and now I've got all the different options for the extras. So I could book a vase of flowers, press continue, and then I go to the confirm page. So here a card's required. So this is going to ask me to put in a card. It also gives me the cancellation deadlines up there. So I would just fill in all the details there. I'm not going to go to the full booking process just yet because we're going to do that in a minute. So if I just come off this and we go return back to the presentation. So essentially that's Bloom built, focused on getting that booking done, getting sort of being able to book extras, minimizing the clutter so that the guest can focus on making that booking. And that all of those types of things will increase your conversion rate. A clean flow with just obvious buttons and steps to make. So,
yeah, there was a few other things there that we didn't show, but like you'll be able to see if you have a look yourself. It's very easy to do multiple unit bookings. But another key thing is look at the page load there, the speed of that. That's really critical for guests and also for Google. Google will analyze that speed, and it matters when they're deciding which websites to show. The navigation, Craig said, is really simple, no clutter. Okay, I will just talk a little bit now about kind of what's coming next. And we've taken that website and we've, seen the importance of getting those basics really perfect every single time, which I think Bloom does really well, but we've been working on ways to improve that. And that's something that we call BloomPro, and that's the next step. And that's currently in testing with a selection of hotels and B&Bs. And the Pro version has advanced features, again, all designed to further increase conversion and improve the overall guest experience during the book and search phase. And these are some of the key enhancements that it has, and we'll cover today. So there's one express booking, which is really about how to improve the speed of that booking process. And we'll show you some really interesting data about the results of increasing the speed. We'll also look at abandoned cart and elements. Elements is basically on-site booking, where the booking process doesn't leave your actual website. And then Craig will also discuss a little bit about extras and the extra functionality that we've added to extras. But before we go into kind of showing you the express booking process and how it speeds up your bookings and your payments, we were going to look at how payments in general have changed, because payments are very pivotal. It's an area where there's a lot of drop-off from guests. So improving that process and also keeping it current in terms of the trends is absolutely critical. And so if we just look at payments and what's happened, recently, I mean, the change towards contactless and wallets, it's been gradual, but also relentless. And these figures here just show that recently it's accelerated that rate of change. And these things have moved into the mainstream, especially the growth of wallets. And we're talking wallets here, we're talking Apple Pay or Google wallets now. 1.4 billion people worldwide using those. And the big tipping point in the UK was at the start of this year. 57% of all adults were registered with at least one mobile wallet service. And that was up from 42% the year before. So that's a really big jump in a year of about 15%. And for the first time, actually, 50% of the adult population have got a mobile wallet so active. So that's really a big change. It shows that that's the direction. It's not going to slow. If anything, it will increase. And interestingly, as we pointed out there, the fastest growing segment are the over 55s. And they pretty much doubled from 14 to 25% of them who actually now have a wallet. And again, the reason for that probably is because it's very secure and it's very convenient. So it's more secure than any other form of payment. So with these sort of numbers in mind, it's probably worth just having a look at how we've changed that booking process to accommodate what's happening.
Okay, so I mean that's really interesting about the wallets. I mean, one of the big benefits of wallets to hotels and B&Bs is that there's a lot of data included in the wallet that we can harness and make that the process of the booking speed up, and that's what we use in the express checkout. So we're going to do a little demo on the phone again, but before we do that, I just want to sort of just explain that the technology of the wallets comes from Apple and Google, but then it requires a payment gateway, something like Stripe. So we use Stripe's technology in order to make this process work and harness all of the data in the wallet to make the booking a lot faster. So again, we've put up the QR code there. So if you wanted to do this at home, you can do it at any time. So there's also a recording, so you'll be able to do it from that. But I'm just going to share that with you now again, just like we did. Okay, so here we go. So this time it's similar, the same process that you saw earlier. This time I'm just going to go ahead to book. So I'm going to go past the area that we went before. So I'm going to continue here. Now you can see up there, there's a button here now, book with Apple Pay. So this is the point at which if I click book with Apple Pay, and this is Ian's card, so he'll have to use his face. So that's Ian just used his face to confirm that booking or to confirm the payment. In this case, no payment is taken, but the card has been captured. And along with the card is his name, his email address, his physical address, and also his card details. And those are all like hyper secure because it's done with a face. So that guest could never say that they didn't do the booking. So this is like really important that that booking took place there without even me putting my name in. So that's really, really super fast and super slick. And I mean, I know now, I mean, you hear anecdotally, and I know if I ever go to a website, you know, to maybe to book some tickets or something, you know, or to buy something, and I have to go and look for my card and I can't use Apple Pay. It's just that kind of sigh, you know. You just feel, oh, I could have done that just with one click on the side of my phone, and now I'm going to have to go find my card. So this is like really you know, an amazing process. And here's just a little bit some of the data that goes with it that we've got now on the express booking process.
I don't always pay for the room. He
Yeah,
sometimes
so-
pays, sometimes uses his own card.
So, I mean, you can do that process on that test site, and it won't charge your card, I promise. So the data on Express Checkout. So this is quite interesting to a lot of people. It's approximately 5 times more guests will complete the checkout within 1 minute. So that's obvious because you don't have to put in any of your details effectively. And the typical booking time is more than halved. So the most common express booking completes in under 1 minute, compared to just over 2 minutes for a standard booking. And this also then is shown in the conversion rate. So across properties using express booking, we have already seen conversion rates that are typically in, you know, about 11% of a gain on what they would normally get with their conversion. So that's an 11% extra conversion rate. And these numbers really just demonstrate how easy it is for a guest to make bookings. When you make it a very convenient process to complete, it's, you know, it's even, you know, the other thing that's really important there is it's even more convenient than an OTA like Expedia or Booking.com. And it just highlights how much we've invested in that and how much we value your direct booking process. Again, this will probably in the next years or so will become the most common way to do bookings, but we're way ahead of the curve. And converting bookings helps you capture all of the details, and it's also kind of like more secure, so you can be sure that the card details are secure. Another part of BloomPro that we've worked on is on the abandoned bookings. So this is where guests have started to make a booking and they don't complete it for whatever reason. They might decide not to, or they might just be distracted by something else. So we send after an hour, the guest will get a branded email with your logo on it and all the details that you've put into the system. And they're asking them to complete that booking. So it's just one button saying that your booking's still waiting for you. And it will take them directly back to the booking pages, exactly where they were with the dates that they'd selected. And all of the details that they'd already put in will be there. And we report that to you. So we'll report all the emails that we send out and how many of them have returned bookings. So it's just a little nudge if somebody doesn't complete the booking process. It's like what they call abandoned cart. So it's like an abandoned booking. Okay. The other really popular thing, or something that we get asked a lot for, is can we create a booking process that takes place on your website without going to another page or without having to go across to to a page to make that booking. And we have built that now for you. I'm going to show you again. It is on our test site, so you can do it yourself as well. That is really a big plus, because it means that the guests can be scrolling around your website. They can go to look to book, or they can come back to your website, and your brand stays right up in front. So Ian will just share a page here. So this is the Deco House Hotel, and you can see there's a book now button right in the middle here. And if I click on that book now, then the booking process that you've just seen me show you pops up on the left-hand side. So that's a static button. So we've got one which is a static button. You can change the size of the button, and you can change the size of the font and the colors so that it fits your website. And then down here, if you see there on the bottom left, there's a Book Now button. So that's a floating one. And again, if I click on that one, it brings that up. So again, that whole process, I can just go through and make a booking, just as I've done on the mobile. So you can just continue like that. Again, that booking can be done with Apple Pay or Google Pay. So again, it has all the same functionality, but it takes place on your own website. There's a little bit of coding. So I mean, it's very, very easy to install, but there's like 2 lines of code that you need to add to your website, and you can then modify those buttons. You can once you put the code on your website, you can then manage the buttons from Free2Book. So the final thing there, are we back there? So the final thing will be maybe to look at the extras that so you saw there, I did the extras on.
Oops, sorry, I'm across.
Yeah. So I did the extras during the booking process, but there are some new functions. There's some new functionality coming to the extras in BloomPro. This is the first one would be that you can have extras which are specific to a room type. This might be that you might have some rooms that one of the common things is one room is pet friendly, but the others are not. So you have an extra for the guest to be able to book pets, but you don't want them to be able to book pets on a room that can't take pets. So that will be sorted out in the BloomPro rollout. And it might also be something like you have different facilities on different room types. And these, again, you just want to show that extra only where it's relevant to the room that the guest is about to book. There's another advantage that we're bringing in with the extras, because the extras will be at room level. The guest, when they're booking multiple rooms, will be able to select which room that extra applies to. So if they're booking 2 rooms and one of the extras just goes on one of the rooms, they can select that quite easy during the booking process. And the other thing will be that now that once we've built this, which is due for rollout in the next month or so, the upselling of extras then becomes a lot easier, because we've got the extras at the room level. So we'll know which rooms have extras and which ones don't, which will help you be able to upsell to guests that maybe don't have some of those. I mean, you can see essentially with the Bloom and the BloomPro examples that, we've worked very hard to make the best possible booking process. And we, understand that it's completely, fluid, in that we're always trying to improve it and get better. And it's really very much a focus of Free2Book, is because it's so important to your direct bookings, that we'll continue to make that booking process better and better.